I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. Couple minutes left score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock. And we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's Thursday night, which means it's time to shoot some hoops. Welcome to the British Basketball League and Week 3's opening game, which sees last year's treble-winning London up against the only team to beat them last year twice, and that was Bristol. Tonight, live from the Olympic Park, it's the Lions versus the Flyers.
They have picked up where they left off. 3 trophies last year. 3 wins from 3 this season. They steamrolled Surrey. Crushed Caledonia.
Caledonia needs to huddle here.
Manhandled Manchester.
No problem.
And that's all without their star player.
They're settling in now, and hopefully you can make it around here.
But Lions like to sleep. And the Flyers are planning a rude awakening. Because if anyone can beat them, Bristol can. They've done it before, twice last season. They've got stars of their own and increased their firepower. They love being the underdog, and this dog loves to fight. Expect Bristol to brawl for the lion's share.
Well, the Lions won't give up a win without a fight, and this place is a fortress. Domestically, they only lost once at the Copper Box last year, and this season they've not been at full strength, but have still found a way to demolish anyone who turns up. And Bristol, they've won one, they've lost one, but they're as tough as old boots and relish that underdog tag. Coach Kapoulis is a wily operator. He's been with the Flyers for 17 years and knows every play in the book. And I'm joined in the studio by a pair of absolute ballers who know about every play in the book too. International basketball star, that's Ovi Soko, and current Surrey scorcher Josh Still. Welcome to you both. Now, Ovi, when I looked at the stats from last year, Bristol against the London Lions, you were on the bench, but not kind of on the bench. You were injured. They lost. Do you think the result would have been different if you were there?
100%. I feel like there was a main factor missing from that game. No, but, you know, they had a very talented team last year. And they have a bunch of new interesting pieces this year.
It's a difficult place to go and actually win, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. They have a fan base that always brings a lot of energy.
Yeah, and for you, Josh, what is it that makes Bristol such a good team? They're quite a tough team to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's down to Coach Kapoulis. I think he does a good job of installing the kind of DNA he wants his team to play with. And, you know, that's getting after second chance opportunities, being aggressive on defense, and, yeah, just being relentless.
It's going to be a good game tonight. We look to see what Bristol are going to bring to London. But now to another baller. Drew Lasker is amongst the London players. And, Drew, how will those Lions set up tonight?
The Lions can beat you in a variety of styles. They can go fast with Matt Morgan, a.k.a. Speedy Gonzalez. He has elite warp speed and a first step that the Flyers must respect. Soon as he's given cushion, bang, that's when he makes you pay with his quick figure jumper. They can also go slow with Tariq Phillip. He has more of a methodical approach. He's tough, he's strong, and he can also get buggers. So don't get it twisted. The New York native can score in his Timberland boots.
As always, Drew right up in there. But he mentioned Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan, who joined actually the Lions from the French League this season, already becoming a bit of a fan favourite here, Josh. And when we look at him, he's somebody who knows how to score such high numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does a lot of that from behind the arc. He's an excellent marksman. He's got a very quick step, like Drew said. So, you've got respect him on the closeout, but he's able to blow by you. But where I think he's best is here in transition. I think he's a great player in the open floor. And I think that's where he's going to create a lot of offense for himself this season.
I mean, 18 points, from 17 minutes from the bench the other day. And for him, this goes to show he's an efficient player.
Absolutely, and an impact player at that. It's difficult to come off the bench sometimes and then get in your rhythm, but that shows that he's not fazed by being out.
Well, he'll be alongside Tariq Phillip Ovi tonight as well. Tariq, someone who you know well as well. And for Tariq, he's got a high basketball IQ, a bit of everything, Tariq. And what else does he bring to this team?
I mean, Tariq brings tons of experience. You know, he's coming off a year where he had to sit on the sidelines. Unfortunately, he had an injury, season-ending injury last year. But he's come back with a vengeance. Here you see him knocking it down from three-point land. I feel like what's happened in that year off, he's had time to analyse things and see how he can affect the game here, turning defensive energy into transition points, which is something that he's always done well. So where I think he might have lost a step, we see he still has it here. We're sort of just the IQ.
And when you think about this particular Lions team and what they need to be able to do to be consistent, these are the kind of players they need to be able to make sure are efficient, that are working together and are working well here, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see Tariq Evans back. Like coming up after his injury, I think he's reinvented his game a little bit. So that's good to see.
And when you think about, just very quickly, Ovi, when you think about what this London Lions team need to be able to do, they're going to feel a bit of, they need a bit of a vengeance, don't they? Because those losses would have really upset them last season.
I mean, they have to be prepared. You know, one of the reasons I think they ran into problems last year was they weren't prepared. They might have come out a little bit lackadaisical. So I think this year, if they can come out with some energy and come out focused, they should be able to handle the Bristol Flyers.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Well, we're under 8 minutes from tip-off. We'll be focusing on the Bristol Flyers on the other side of this. This is the British Basketball League, and we're almost 5 minutes from tip-off as last season's all-conquering London Lions take on the team that beat them twice last season. Here's Drew to explain how the Bristol Flyers might do it again.
Well, Jeanette, the second best defensive team has their hands full. Well, Jeanette, the second best defensive team has their hands full. That's why they must keep scoring tonight, beginning with this guy right here, number 55, Brad Green. You see his size right there. Great width, girth, and beautiful touch inside. So look for him to get the party started, which will open things up on the perimeter for the birthday boy right here. Come with me, cameraman. Number 2, Tevin Allison, the certified marksman who comes in with a newfound confidence, love to slither his way to the basket, but where he will make a living is beyond the arc, where he can get things rolling like Tina Turner.
Tina Turner indeed, and we're going to come on to Tevin and to Brad Green in a moment, but I want to take a look at this graphic first in terms of how the Bristol Flyers, they beat the London Lions. Let's take a look at this. In the first game in November, they had forced 21 turnovers from London over, and they'll be hoping for more of the same.
100%. They're going to try and turn the London Lions over, which should in turn help them score some easy fast break points and help sort of equalise and balance the talent.
Yeah.
If they're not able to sort of mess up the game, muck it up, make it a fight, a brawl, the Lions are going to run away with this one.
And in the second game in April, they really battled to win that here, Josh. You can see the rebounds, the second chances, the points, and points from the bench. That's what got them over the line. And these margins were really small in terms of the losses for London Lions.
For sure. And both those things are going to be really, very important, especially the second chance points. That's part of Bristol's identity, so they're going to need to do that and keep crashing the glass. And the bench is going to be super important for them because Lions are a deep team themselves, so both units are going to have to contribute.
It's going to be exciting to see. Tevin Ollison is someone who I'm excited to see. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday to him. Tough operator. We started the season really well though, Josh.
Yeah, and he's a marksman from beyond the arc, but he's also able to get inside and finish strong. He's a strong finisher, and being a second-year guy playing for Coach Kapoulis the second year, he knows exactly what he wants on the floor. So he's going to be the spark on that defensive end for them for sure.
And it is that experience, isn't it? That first-year experience, then coming into this second year, he knows exactly what needs to be able to do to make the Bristol Flyers actually, well, I say fly, if pun intended, up that league.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you want from your second-year guys.
It's amazing. He's a sharpshooter. He's a sharpshooter indeed, but also alongside him, going to be Brad Green, all 6'11" of him, OV. And when you think about it, a lot of the work that he does is in the paint.
Yeah, no, 100%. This duo is going to be an absolute problem. Tevin Ollison on the outside, obviously he's going to be controlling things. But then in the paint, you've got the big boy, you've got Green. He's a roll and steal guy, you know. He absolutely punishes the defense like we saw there. When he gets a little bit of space here, doing work on the glass. He led the Austrian League last year in rebounds. So he's no stranger to sort of that aspect of the game. But here you see him just absolutely creating problems for the other team. I think this is what they're going to have to establish pretty early. I think Coach Kapoulis is going to have to do a great job of balancing his minutes and keeping him fresh, because I do believe that was one of the problems that they ran into here against the Newcastle Eagles, punishing those guys in the paint. But when he got a little bit tired, they did struggle. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Kapoulis can balance that.
It will be interesting to see how Coach Kapoulis does that. And Drew spoke to both coaches before the game.
We're playing a very talented, deep roster. We've got to be physical, we've got to rebound, we've got to defend, we've got to get good shots, and we've got to have a next play mentality.
Coach, you come in 3-0. Would you call it the perfect start?
It is perfect start because 3 games, 3 wins. I know it's early on and beginning of the season. Still, there is a lot of things that we need to work on and improve, but I'm really happy how the team responded from the beginning.
We've got to be locked in from the get-go. They've got to be locked in. They've got to come out. They had slow starts a little bit, so I'm thinking they've got to be out here ready to play. We've got to be ready to match their physicality.
Matt Morgan returns to the lineup. What type of value does he bring to this team?
Oh, he brings a lot on this table, honestly. He's extremely good, extremely fast player, great scorer, talented for passing as well. So we're going to use that for sure.
And the Lions are the standard of the league. What will you be telling your team in that final huddle into tip-off?
Don't back down. Stand up. Keep playing.
I mean, it's not a given. It's not a given for the London Lions to come away and take this one, Josh. I'm excited for this game. What do you think the result might be here?
Well, I always say it's the best team that wins is the best performance that wins. And, that's what's going to be the case tonight. If Bristol can come in and put in the performance that they need to, they're going to come out with a win.
And for yourself, Obi, what do you think?
I think both of you guys aren't being real. I feel like we're going to have a look at some barbecue chicken today, if I'm being very, very honest. And I say that for this reason. Tariq Phillips and a bunch of the guys that are back in the lineup for the Lions, they're guys that all have something to prove from different perspectives and different aspects. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but I see this one going to the Lions.
Well, straight after this, it's London against Bristol, and your commentators are Todd Harris and Azania Stewart. We'll be back soon.
And we welcome you to East London on a beautiful September evening. This is the Copper Box Arena, home of the defending champion and reigning champion London Lions. As we get ready to tip off the game, interesting situation tonight where, Azania, we've got brothers that are handling the officiating with Simon and Paul Unsworth, also David Griffin taking part in that trio.
Yeah, they've been a great 1-2 punch referees, so really good to see them tonight for this game.
So the London Lions come in as 3-0 favorites. The Bristol Flyers go at 1-1. Both coaches extremely experienced. So Azania, as the crowd continues to fill into the Copper Box, what do you expect tonight?
Well, I think the defense from London Lions has been solid this whole season, so I see them starting strong on that end and making easy offense.
Bristol coming off a game in which they had an opportunity to possibly win, but when you dig yourself that big of a hole against a team like Newcastle, it's going to be difficult. And wow, London Lions, this sets the tone early for Matthew Morgan.
Well, Matt Morgan comes off the bench last week. That was his first game. And this week into the starting lineup. And there he is, his instant offense for this London Lions.
Is this a case of the London Lions where it's going to be the rich get richer? Because let's not forget, they've got Sam Decker still waiting in the wings coming back from injury.
Yeah, they're going to need him as they get ready for European play. Nice rebound from Green.
Yeah, big putback by Brad Green, which Drew Lasker had talked about. Big body there, and a backcourt foul will stop the clock.
We spoke about Green, but I am, a post player at heart, and I've just really enjoyed Brad Green. He had his first game, was 23 points and 10 rebounds versus Plymouth, which was a win, but only 6 points and 5 rebounds in the Newcastle loss. So it's important for him to feel good and see that ball go through the basket.
Knowing that Bristol beat the Lions last year, not once, but twice, how do you think Coach Bolsich is going to want to play this? Is he going to want to up-tempo them, or is he going to want to slow it down, grind it out, and do the set offense?
Well, you can never underestimate a team. Everyone comes to play, especially in this league. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night. I always say, we tie our shoelaces up the same way. So I think both teams are going to be very focused. But we heard Kapoulis say, hey, stand up, let's fight, let's not back down.
Bristol Flyers in their traveling white uniforms, and the London Lions in their homestanding black with the white trim. All leaving it 2 early going here from the Copper Box in London. Cross-court pass, wide open man. That one is going to find nothing but net as the birthday boy, Tevin Olsen, gets on the board with his first bucket.
A really nice swing across the court, wide open shot, and he knocks that one down. Good defense.
And defense is what really was the catalyst last year for Bristol getting the win as they go right to the rack, and they're going to get that foul on Connor Morgan, picking up his first of the game.
A really lovely start by Bristol Flyers, Todd. Energy, look at this cross pass, wide open with the defense running at him. Nothing but net, splashes it home, and really good start. This is exactly what you want from the Bristol Flyers, energy.
Tevin Olsen coming off a great performance, 13.6 rebounds versus Newcastle in the loss. And that will send Keedy Johnson, 24-year-old, originally from Dallas, Texas, played his college ball at the University of West Virginia. And he goes to the line shooting 2. Coach Kapoulis already fired up, got a nice lather going here, and we're, less than 2 minutes into the game.
And he's already pacing up and down the court. He's definitely getting his steps in tonight.
7-2 early lead for Bristol. This is not a problem for them. As we've seen this before, they'll get off to great starts. It's can they sustain that momentum and that offensive flow? Morgan comes off the screen, can't get it. Olasheni saves it for the Lions. Looking for a clean open shot. Nice little step back with just 4 seconds left on the clock, and give that 2 points to number 22, Tariq Phillip.
He's been feeling good, and I just think he's playing with such confidence. You can see it, playing with lovely, stress-free swagger. I like it.
What did Drew Tasker say something about he can get the step in his Timberlands?
Yeah, true New York style.
Yeah, that is proper. That is a proper compliment.
You got a pair of Timberlands?
No, and I wouldn't get the first step off even if I did have a pair. Dribble drive picked up on the outside. It's going to be a foul away as they were trying to get the ball, looks like, into Gabe Olasheni. What a pickup for the London Lions, having him in the inside.
And here's the replay. But we spoke about Matt Morgan and Tariq at the beginning of the broadcast, but we forgot about Gabe.
Yep.
He has been playing very, very well. True post player. Has been rebounding double-double. Has been man of the match.
Yep.
Pretty much 3 games in a row, in my opinion. Solid.
Averaging almost 15 points a game in the 3 victories for the London Lions. Nearly 9 rebounds a game, and he is rock solid. Nice handwork there, taken away, given right back to the Flyers. Wide open 3 in the corner. Boom.
Good answer back by Thomas Edwards in that corner again. Mo Solowade, and he's stealing that ball and hands it right back. And if Bristol Flyers, as a foul happens, if Bristol Flyers really want to have a crack at London Lions, those are the plays they have to execute. Very well done.
Here it is one more time. Look at this rapid, quick change. Wow. RTE for 3. 10-4, Bristol on top as we go under 7 minutes to play here in the first period. British Basketball League on Sky Sports. Glad to have you with us as the London Lions bring their action to the copper box. And the fans love that kind of action. Beautiful give and go inside, and Connor Morgan finishes it. Coming right back, Bristol. You said this earlier, Isaiah. Nice answer. They are not going to back down. You're not going to let the London Lions go on one of their patented runs.
Yeah, and I like the energy. They're playing tough defense. I'm obviously all about the defense, but they're making their easy layups. They're hitting their 3-point shots. The Flyers have come out, ready to play on this Thursday night.
So substitutions being made early for the Flyers.
Jacob just come in, number 3, had 18 points last game, played very, very well.
Morgan thought about it. There are the 5 that are on the court right now, the same starters that got things going for Coach Bosic. And the foul and the travel. So they get the travel on Olasheni. And big body Brad Green there to put a stop to that.
Yeah, nice pick. We always say you need an oyster for that move, the travel.
You're not getting around that easily.
Yeah, in London, that's how you travel around.
Lucas checking in for the Flyers, and Tajon Lucas is 6'1", just 24 years of age, originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He brings that speed to the backcourt. 14-6, Flyers on top. Remember, beat the Lions twice last year, and that's going to be foul called in the backcourt.
Doesn't seem happy with that. Going to have to walk that one off. And going back to Lucas, he was out the first game, so it's good to see him back. Here he is. Thank you very much, cameraman. Gets right into his step into the layup, and it's feeling good.
Tajon Lucas pushing the lead to 8. And the Flyers on a nice little run here inside the Copper Box Arena. No fear there. Nice pass dished off to the side to Olasheni, left wide open.
A little 15-footer is in his bag. Wide open, he's got to hit that.
How you liking Gabe Olasheni's new stash? He was rocking the beard for a while, but now he's gone straight stash.
Yeah, I called him Mr. Potato Head last
you
week.
Did not.
To
his face.
No, on air. He just looks like he could just pop up, doesn't it? As they turn over the ball. But he said, I spoke to him in the media day, and he said, I was bored over the summer, so I just shaved off the beard.
Took off the beard and went with a stash. It's very posh looking. He looks, like
a London bloke.
Like he could be in the cast of The Gentleman.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
And a nice lineup.
He's got a pretty nice game, too, to go with that mustache.
Yeah, you kind of do. That's what he said. He was like, with the mustache, I can beat up on people and you feel embarrassed. I said, all right, here we go.
London Lions looking to get an offensive spark, looking to get the flow going as they have 5 players on the court right now that can handle the ball almost anywhere on court. Deep range 3, fire, and off the rim. Rebound taken away by Corey Samuels, who has just checked in. Young man out of University of West England, hometown Bristol player. Looking for back-to-back buckets, doesn't drop for Lucas, and there's going to be a foul. And Lucas is called for this one.
Yeah, had to get in his way because once Matt Morgan gets going, he's gone. Like a track meet for sure. And great guy, actually. I had a nice conversation with him. I worked a pizza party, a watch party for the women's Lions team in the EuroLeague. And the guys came out and supported. It was fantastic. And, really friendly guy. Spoke about his great career in France last year. Was what's his name? Go on, give it to me. He was the top scorer.
Victor Wembanyama.
Thank you very much.
You'll get that by the end of the night.
I know.
On his way to San Antonio.
But he won MVP, and Matt Morgan was number 2 scorer. So, you know,
That's pretty good company.
Yeah. He knows how to score. He plays tough, but also a lovely guy off the court.
Matt Morgan, out of the Ivy League in the U.S., played his college ball at Cornell and now French Pro League. Coming off an 18-point performance against Manchester. Deep range 3 there, and that is nothing but net.
Lucas.
Hitting the rafters of the copper box. We got ourselves a game here.
Yes, I'm really happy about it. Because our friend Obi Soko didn't think so.
Oh, what did he say? We cooked chicken or something like that?
Yeah, but Matt Morgan is on the court, so if he has anything to do about it.
So I'm going to let him know at halftime what Obi said. It'll really spark him. Coach won't need to get a halftime pep talk. Green was looking and the player was going the other way. He was trying to get it to Tajon Lucas, and Lucas cut to the inside as Green threw it away. 17-13. Bristol on top. 4:15 to play here in the first quarter. And the Flyers have certainly come to play, not intimidated by the 3-0 homestanding London Lions at Copper Box Arena. Back inside the Copper Box Arena, East London, 17-13. The visiting Flyers on top, 4:10 to play here in the first quarter. Todd Harris, Zania Stewart with you as the Flyers get off to a great start early. They go inside now, the Londons, and this is definitely an answer. Olashini can't convert.
Yeah, I like that matchup down low, Green versus Onasheli.
Olashini?
Thank you.
That's the one. Victor Wembanyama?
We're a team too, you know. Help me out, I'll help you out.
Absolutely. Oh, big man. That is... Zania, as a big player, post player, how do you stop that, or can you?
You really can't, but what I love about Green, he does his work early. He runs down the floor, you know, pushes Olasheni down low, right, and then it makes it easy.
Quick pass around, finds Morgan on the wing. Morgan off the heel, but it stays alive as Jordan Taylor keeps it him. Morgan says, enough of this outside stuff. I'll drive and one.
As he flexes, hangs in the air for a really long time to finish, Todd. This was incredible finish by him.
He went right at the big man.
Sure did. And here it is. Matt Morgan, double clutch, hanging. Finish.
Is that one of those cases where if you're a post player and you see a guard coming in, you're like, there's no way they're going to challenge me at the rim, and he came right at him?
Yeah, you're right. But, you know, tough stand by Green. But Matt Morgan, I told you, feeling himself. He knows how to score and scores, you know, fills it up, really. And he will take a break, a well-earned rest as Sandy will come in.
19-16 now. Bristol's lead is cut down to 3. They went on an 8-0 run early in the first quarter, and now the Lions, after a few changes and substitutions, Coach Bocic has found his groove. We'll see if his team can come back much more active. Look how far out they're pushing that defense. Ooh, Josh Sharma, that's not happening. Not in my neighborhood.
And you're right, it's a deep bench, and this is where London Lions, you know, are really great. Josh Sharma, there he is coming off of the bench. You've got Luke Nelson, also can be a starter. We call him, you know, the GB General. Just a wonderful set of guys just ready to play. Jordan Taylor, you know, he's come off the bench. We've seen him score 9 points in 5 minutes. He can fill it up. This 5 right now could potentially start the game for the London Lions.
Keely Johnson now at the line. Hit the first, looking for the second. Young man out of Dallas, Texas. Gets them both. And this is where I'm interested to see, Azania, if Bristol can withstand. When London starts getting that momentum, starts getting on a roll, can Bristol answer back?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the difficult part, you know, as it gets deeper into the game, where London Lions can spread the minutes. Like I said, this 5 could start the game. I think it will start to wear Bristol down, but right now they've come out so well.
Sharma with the throwdown on the baseline. No one was home defending the rim.
Well, you know, we always get a Josh Sharma highlight. So much so I've got one of his T-shirts.
Oh, I know. I remember that story. Bristol again trying to answer back. Sharma cleans the glass. Here come the Lions. You know, getting some wisdom pregame, which I like to do from Ovi Soko always. The word that kept coming to mind when I was talking to Ovi was depth, and that's going to be an offensive foul. They're going to get the charge there, so that will stop as Taylor pleads his case. Ovi said depth, and he was talking about the London Lions, and that's usually where they wear you down in that second half, fourth quarter, usually.
Yeah, and that's what they're built for, right? They're built for European play, and here's the pick and roll, and then the charge just runs him right over. But yeah, the bench, I think, is so important, and I think as you go deeper into the season, when you're having to play, you know, 2-3 games a week, it's important you have subs, you have guys that can come in and play and be ready.
The graphic that they showed in the studio with the Jeanette, Ovi, and Josh about how Bristol got it done, winning last year twice against the London Lions, that tip-in goes awry. Are there just, as a former Lion yourself, is there just teams that you just don't match up well with? They've just got your number?
Yeah, it's like that sometimes, and there's just some teams, you know, who work really, really hard, and they're one of them.
Nelson off the back of the rim, ball knocked away.
But what they also did was rebound well when they beat the Lions.
Committed to the glass.
Yeah, they committed to the glass.
Backdoor, nice cut there. Pass given up and under. Looked like Sharma was trying to avoid the contact, and he did as far as the referees were concerned. Nice dish back to the rim it goes. Dante Grantham gets his first bucket of the night.
Real acrobatic move from him, taking the hit. Could have been an and one. And a lovely finish at the rim.
Closest the Lions have been since the opening bucket. 1 point game, under a minute to play here in the first quarter from the Copper Box Arena in East London. Deep range 3, and that's how Bristol can help themselves.
Yeah, Smith with a high flying little jump shot. He's also, we're talking about the bench.
Right.
Bristol's bench, he comes off, he's a strong physical body and, you know, can guard Sharma, but also pull him out of the paint. He's got that jump shot.
Has fouls to give, too, at 33. The big 6'8" man able to bear from the deep range, and that one's off the mark again. So Luke Nelson unable to get on track from the outside. It's a 3-point game. Shot clock and the difference between the game clock is about second and a half, 2 seconds. Deep range 3, and that hits nothing but clean London air. So it'll be 3.1 seconds for the Lions to possibly tie this up if they can hit the 3. And Azania, these are the things you practice at the end of practice, these last second shots.
End of practice, I think
this is what you open with?
I think you practice plays like this, you know, last second shots. I think it's important because this happens a lot in games.
Gets it off and just short. So Jordan Taylor's shot goes awry at the end of one period. It is Bristol that comes into East London. They have the lead 23-20 over the reigning and defending champion London Lions. It's a three-point game as we enter the second period here at the Copper Box Arena in East London. Todd Harris alongside the former London Lion, Azania Stewart. And we've got a good one tonight as Bristol came out firing, had a lead of 8 points, Azania. And let's not forget, this is a team that beat London, the reigning and defending champions, twice last year.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the Flyers came out. They came with energy. They executed their plays. They were tough on defense. Great first quarter by them.
You talked about how they got it done last year, beating the Lions, that is. They committed to the glass and defense, and if they can get these deep-range shots to be a little more accurate, Tevin Olesen, we're going to give him a pass on that. Birthday present right there. That's your one mulligan.
That's your gift.
My one gift to him. I won't even comment on it. It's a three-point game, though, so if you're Bristol and head coach Andreas Kapoulis, you got to feel pretty good about what you've done against the best London Lions squad they put out there.
Yeah, but it's a long game, you know. You should feel good because you can keep building, but don't get too complacent. You need to keep working hard.
Oh, buried it. Connor Morgan, Canadian national team player, the 29-year-old, 6'9", knocks that down, averaging 8 points a game earlier in this season, and that is a reliable jump shot. If he can step out there at his size, it's going to be tough to defend that.
Morgan is a golf player. He plays more golf than basketball.
All even at 23, 9 minutes to play, cross-court pass to Lord Nelson, and there's the foul, and that gives us a good opportunity to send it back to the studio. Jeanette Kwachi, Ovi Soko, and Josh Steele.
It's been an absolutely amazing start for the Bristol Flyers. I think they've done an absolutely incredible job starting off. What do you see, Josh?
I mean, they haven't backed down at all. They've come out aggressive in the first quarter, and we look to see if they can carry that on in this quarter now.
Yeah, no, I think the Lions are definitely going to have to pick up the energy, especially moving forward. This second unit, they have closed the gap. But we'll see if the Bristol Flyers can stick with it throughout the rest of the game. Still a long way to go.
I will say this, Azania and I both believe that London would be in better shape if Ovi was out on the court still.
I think so.
I think it's pretty clear that would be the case.
Yeah.
Happy to have the British Basketball League on Sky tonight, as that shot was looking to be an and-one situation for Jordan Taylor. Interesting note, Jordan Taylor, you know what his middle name is?
No.
Jordan Michael Taylor, as in Michael Jordan Taylor, but he's Jordan Michael Taylor.
his own
Just
superstar.
he's former Wisconsin Badger, played at the same school as Sam Decker, who the London Lions are waiting to come back from injury. And we talked about this at the start of the telecast, Azania. London's going to be that much more lethal when Sam Decker comes back. Now, they'll probably ease him into the playing and rotation minutes-wise, but when he gets to full strength, yikes.
Yeah, and, you know, he feels like he's ready, but they're just holding him back a bit. And I spoke to Sam as I spoke to Sam just about, you know, pulling himself back and the fact that he was saying, I'm ready.
Right.
But it's that mindset where you can just connect your mind to your body and just be fully healthy and not think about the injury, and that's kind of where he's at.
I mean, let's be honest, he's an MVP, he's a former NBA player, he's competitive, he wants to get out there. But the coaches, I think, are doing the smart thing, is they're 3-0. They're doing okay without him. If they can buy him more time and they can continue to rack up wins, get him the rest he needs, because like you said, a long season there. You see Sam Decker right there in the middle.
And there he is, and obviously he's not playing, but he's a big part of this team. He'll keep leading the team. And also he's playing in practice. He's 5-0, I think. In the next couple of weeks, he'll be 5-5.
There we go. Nice pass down to Sharma. Ball knocked away, and Sharma's going to have his hands full tonight. Josh Sharma, usually known to roam around the rim, but Brad Green, he is a big fella, as Drew Lasker pointed out. He is, what did he say? He's got a big girth.
Yes.
He's got some girth to him.
Yeah,
he's got some size to him, I think is what he said.
Boy,
yeah. Nice way of saying it. Well done, Drew. Kick out. Morgan. Sharma thought he got pushed off, and here come the Flyers trying to get back their lead. They trail by 2, 8:25 to play here in the first half. Glad to have you with us on Sky Sports. This is British Basketball League Game of the Week. Nice drive up and under, and the English. My.
That was pretty to go around the block shutter of Josh Sharma and to finish on the opposite side of the rim.
Keely Johnson with a beauty. Azania Stewart approved.
Yeah.
Green corrals the rebound, and the Flyers look to be running again. And why not give it back to him? Hot hand, can't convert. Ball bounces around, stays with the Flyers down below amongst the tall timber, and he kicks it back out. He'll pull the trigger. And why not?
Feeling it. And that is where Bristol are going to be in this game. They work so hard on that glass, got them a second opportunity, and then hit the shot in your face, London Lions. You've got to answer.
Newcastle found out that last week. They did get the win, but man, the Flyers, when they are on fire, their outside shooting is lethal. And now they have the 3-point lead back as we go under 7.5 minutes to play in the first half here in East London. Fadeaway with the foul.
I always speak about this this year. Here we go. We get the replay. Thank you very much, cameraman. And there's the finish. That is lovely stuff. But going back to referees, they're really honing in on this, Todd. The shooter has to be able to land safely.
Right.
You know, that you can't have any defender underneath them. Can't hit their hands. So it's really important that you be disciplined as a defender.
Let's see if we can listen in down on the Lions bench. Making some noise here inside the Copper Box Arena, so it's going to make it difficult to hear what they're talking about. But a 28-25 lead for the Flyers. Beat the Lions last year twice. Coach Bosic saying, not on my watch. It's Sam Decker looking on.
And this is the lovely start by Bristol. I just felt like they've been shooting the ball really well. Yep. They've also played solid defense, slowing the London Lions down, but then executing down the other end. Obviously, we always have a Josh Sharma highlight. But Bosic, you're right, have this timeout, talk about something, put in a lovely play, execute on the offensive end, and then get a stop and start chipping away and taking this lead.
And it seems like Azania, both teams are able to do what they want. They're both kind of executing their game plan. Bristol likes to run a bit. They like to be able to shoot from the outside. They're doing that. London Lions have a great offense. They'll move the ball around. They'll get the back cut. I mean, Sharma's had some great looks inside, so both teams really not really imposing their will on the other team. But right now, I think the Bristol Flyers look a little crisper.
Yeah, and a good start to the game. This is exactly what we want. We want a good, great action. And the Flyers came in, and I think Coach Kabulis set that tone. Right. I think him in the interview at the beginning of the game, he said, hey, let's stay strong. Let's stand up. Let's, show them what we got too, because we're a great team. And I think they've done a really lovely job.
Kedrian Johnson at the line. Likes to be called Keedy, so I will oblige. Keedy Johnson at the line. At the University of West Virginia, averaging close to 14 points a game, so a big part of the Flyers' offense. Converts both, the lead now back up to 5. I think the Lions are such an interesting team, Azania, because what they can bring at you. They can just change on a dime by substitutions who they have on the floor, and then you give it up to Lord Nelson, and he buries that fall away. They can play you slow, they can play you fast, they can play outside, they can play inside, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's what's so key and so hard to guard with them, but you're right. Lord Nelson, offensive, yep. Flew right off of that, didn't he?
That big 55 getting his money's worth. He sent him flying.
He sure did. And with that, it might be Green's second foul. Let's have a look. Yep. He just kind of really moved into that screen.
Here's what's interesting about that. Luke Nelson, you know where he played his college ball? UC Irvine. You know where Brad Green played? UC Irvine.
Really?
That's anteater on anteater crime right there.
Oh.
So they will get the floor all dried up. No harm, no foul, but a foul definitely called that time on Brad Green as he sent his fellow alma mater UC Irvine player to the floor.
That's his first foul, so he's all right.
All good. Coach Bosic there, you see, in his first year with the London Lions. I'd say he picked up a pretty good gig with Ryan Schmidt leaving the British Basketball League, now with the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA, and it's not like the cupboards were bare when he arrived.
No, he has his own resume.
Right.
Coach Wozic, you need a Serbian Wozic, you know?
I love the way you say that.
Thank you. Thank you. Been in Serbia a few times, but a great coach. As there's
Coach Kapoulas, he's like
doing his
helping
overtime.
out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Love
check that towel. Make sure he hasn't put some secret sauce down. Because they had success against these London Lions, and so Coach Kapoulas making sure he puts his imprint on the game. Final 6:40 to go here in the first half. Bristol on top by 3. Lord Nelson thought about it for a second, goes inside to the big man Sharma. Sharma backing down to another big man Green, goes to the sky hook, and Green stands his ground and denies Sharma.
Yeah, solid stand by Green.
Olofsson. Not a lot of movement. Everyone's sitting, waiting. It's the only thing, I guess that'd be the only criticism of Bristol, is not a lot of movement. Shot clock was down to 3, and that shot goes awry. Stutter step going up high to Sharma. He was looking for the tomahawk finish, couldn't get it, but gets his own rebound and cleans it up nicely off the glass.
Stick with it, Josh Sharma.
Had he thrown that in, I would have called that a Stewart. That's a full Stewart. Tomahawk throwdown.
Well, he got jammed up, but stuck with it.
I don't think I would even got to the net. That was a thing of beauty. Sharma. Good matchup here. Oh, and he gets the better of Green, who wanted the foul. Referees don't see it that way, and back come the Lions, trailing by 1. The kick out. Morgan's there. Count it.
Fantastic find in the corner. Morgan is known as a shooter, and he just drifts and finds his spot. And his teammates always find him right on the money. Another offensive foul.
Yeah, push off. Trajan Jacob trying to get open, and he's called with a left arm extension. So a nice little run here for the London Lions, and they've got themselves back a 2-point lead. How about this? Sharma. Oh!
Rocks the rim himself, but good way to stay with it. Sometimes they be like that, but this...
That was a nice piece of defense. Offense, defense. Josh Sharma showing his worth for the Lions.
I like that battle between those two guys.
That would have been a dagger if the Lions would have knocked that down, gone on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. And now Bristol needs a guaranteed play here. You got to go to your must-have bucket.
Well, Green's gone to the bench.
3 from 3. Give him 3. Trajan Jacob with a beautiful answer.
Ooh, that was pretty.
Young man out of Shreveport, Louisiana, played college ball at Florida International.
That shot's so high.
Yeah, it is high arcing. Rainbow jumper. How easy. Tariq Phillip just keeps the dribble alive and inside.
Asking for the foul. He has a point. Way to finish with the contact.
1 point lead for London. 4:15 now to play in the first half. Kicks it back out. Big man straight away. Comes up short. Ball knocked around. Good work there, and it's going to stay with the Flyers. Great work by RTE. The hustle in full effect here at the Copper Box. We got ourselves a 1 point game. Flyers and Lions doing battle in London. We've got British Basketball League on Sky Sports on a Thursday night in London. A 1 point game. The visiting Bristol Flyers are leading the London Lions 34-33. That is Azania Stewart. I am Todd Harris. Glad to have you with us for the final 4 minutes of this first half. And Azania, Bristol Flyers have impressed me. They're outside shooting, and they're not afraid to go inside as well.
Yeah, they've come out strong, and then they've just hit their shots. I've really liked their energy. My interesting question is, can they withstand it, especially in the third quarter? Absolutely. The depth, as Obi Soko has taught us, that is the killer. Ball knocked away. Nice defense there. Winds up in the hands of Trajan Jacob. Back to Leslie Smith. Around the horn they go, looking for a better shot here with Tevin Olesen, the birthday boy, kicking out on the wing. Thought about the three, into the inside, and gets it to fall. Nice little soft roll, and 10 points off of turnovers. Lovely little stat there that popped up on the screen. Thank you very much. And 0 to London Lions. And wasn't that one of the keys last year that Jeanette pointed out in the pregame, that they did well with the turnovers last year against the Lions? Yeah, they Bristol? Really executed and really made London Lions pay. But who's making them pay is Gabe Olesheni. Tough catch. Doesn't make the bucket, but will make his way to the free throw line. So Gabe Olesheni, 6'10", 31 years old, coming off a 17.5 rebound game against the Manchester Giants. The former Iowa Hawkeye steps up to the line, and this is a guy that just really good engine. He is going to go deep into this game. If you need him in the fourth quarter, he will certainly answer the bell. And what a great pickup. We talked about this for Coach Bocic and the Lions to get him this year. Yeah, and he was just talking about, also the media day, just how happy he was. He's played with a lot of these British guys. Luke Nelson, you know, they've played a lot of years together, and just for him to come back, play in the English League, give it, you know, his all. He's been playing all around the world, played in Turkey last season, and just I think he's a great pickup. Great post player, but a lovely personality and person off the court. He's funny. He jokes around all the time. Good matchup out on the point with Tariq Phillip.
New York native who Drew Lasker talked about. He has got some quick first steps, and he's going up against another speedster in Tajon Lucas, young man out of Brigham Young University, a 24-year-old originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, Milwaukee got a new resident this week, pretty popular. You might have heard of him. Damian Lillard going to join the Greek Freak. And here we go, Lions coming back, and the throwdown goes awry in the copper box. Not the way they drew it up, and Morgan was looking for a little contact on the backside, and he is not going to get the love.
He's just sitting there to recover, maybe, I don't know, embarrassment or pain or a foul. Lovely shot there, thank you.
I love that shot, isn't it great?
Feels like we're the ball, we're the basketball.
Except when you miss the dunk, then you don't want that camera to work. So 36-35. Play has been stopped. Andreas Kopoulas, he liked the hustle of his defense. Coach Bosic would like to see a different finish. It looks like we got a technical foul called on Coach Bosic. So all even now at 36.
I like that technical foul because obviously he's sticking up for his players. For Matt Morgan, that's a dangerous play. We've seen, you know, people get hurt from that. And sometimes you just need to step up and say, hey, referee, get your stuff together, because that is not acceptable.
Well, they adjudicated it and they gave him a technical, and that means we've got an all-tied game with Bristol driving and attacking still. Nice kick out. Ball just off the mark, and it's going to come back to the Lions, and here we go, 2-on-1, and Dante Grantham got himself hung up in the air with nowhere to go. You were quick to call the offense.
I did.
Whoa.
We've seen that before by Grantham, just kind of getting a little bit out of control, but what I do like, he does know how to land safely, so good job. But what I do like about the Flyers, you know what they're doing? They're driving in, sucking in the defense, and then kicking it out to the shooters. You're going to live and die by the three-point shot. Obviously, they're shooting a nice little clip right now, but I kind of like that. Drawing in the defense, and then you rely on your shooting. So they're shooting 5 from 10 right now. That's 50% from the three-point line.
Under 2.5 to play in the first half. We are all even at 36 inside the copper box here in East London. Ball knocked away by Ollison. And taken right away by the Flyers. Great work there. Defensive stand here and another defensive play. And again, the response is there. Great work by Tajon Lucas not to give up on it as he knocks the ball away.
Yeah, it was Jacob before running back, and now Lucas, but both teams running back and forth. Good job, getting back and getting his hand in there. And then he ran into the cameraman.
Right into your Sky Sports front room right there.
Yep.
1:59, 20 seconds on the shot clock, all even at 36. Beautiful work around the horn, find the wide open man, and that's how you do it. Dialed up perfectly, Tariq Phillip buries the three.
Bang, bang, Tariq Phillip, thank you very much. Beautiful team basketball, went inside, moved the ball around, find the open shooter.
Lucas gives way to RTE. RTE goes to the outside. Green now with a turnaround from 15. Comes up short. Front rim. Back come the Lions. Looking to push this to a 5-point, maybe a 6-point lead. And they're going to call the offensive right there. Just a full head of steam by Matt Morgan. Still, I don't think happy about that missed dunk.
Nope, I think this is the right call. Gets the body, gets in the way. And Morgan won't be happy with that.
Johnson's going to take it out on the outside after they get done.
Fantastic by Johnson.
The floor drive.
Yeah, Johnson putting his body in the way, taking the hit, sacrificing, and getting the job done.
1:15 now to go in the first half. 3-point lead for the homestanding Lions. Opens wide open. He goes sky high. as Keedy Johnson was trying to get that over the big man, couldn't get it to fall. 1 minute now to play in the first half. Both offenses just a little bit out of sync. And when you're out of sync, you go to your big man. Why not?
Big and strong. Timeout.
Olashini.
Love that move. I love it.
Andreas Kapoulis has seen enough, and he's going to put a stop to this run by the Lions. His squad had a lead of 8. They now trail by 5 with 52.6 seconds, 24 seconds on the shot clock. So we'll see what the Bristol Flyers come out. If you were coaching the Flyers right now, Xenia, where would you go?
Well, first of all, that's a tough ask to stop. Gabe Olasheni is just so hard. But if I'm going to go with maybe what they've been doing, driving deep in and then kick out to the shooters. You want to execute, you want to see the ball go through the bucket going into this halftime, because they've pretty much been leading this whole game. It's been the Bristol Flyers in the first half.
I'll remind you, next Thursday, 7:30 here on Sky Sports, it's the Caledonia Gladiators taking on the Surrey Scorchers. That should be a great game. We look forward to that. That's next Thursday on Sky Sports, British Basketball League Game of the Week. And, of course, you can always get the highlights on YouTube from tonight's game. 41-36, London on top, 52.6 seconds. And you know what? Why stay home and do homework when you can come to the Copper Box and watch the British Basketball League?
I literally was going to say that out on school night. It's 8:30. I love it. I love that kids and young generation up and coming, loving basketball in the arenas, and that's what it's all about.
Right.
And, you know, these are high-level basketball players and really exciting.
So we'll see what the Flyers have drawn up for this play. They are in desperate need of a basket here. You do not want to have a turnover and then let the Lions come back and get a final shot. So they race up and quickly to the rim, and that is a nice answer. Great work there by Keedy Johnson.
He blinked and
he was gone.
He was
gone.
gone.
Yeah, he caught everyone off guard.
Yeah, lovely answer out of the timeout.
So it's a 2-for-1. The Flyers will get the ball another time with the shot clock still inside of 10. Olasheni up and under, and he wanted to travel, but it's going to stay with the Lions. Shot clock at 6.
Yeah, it kind of looked a little...
Looked like a Euro hop, not a Euro step.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice defensive stand there, and now really close to shot clock and game clock. Here we go, final 10 seconds. Bristol with an opportunity to tie or pull within 1. Pull-up jumper from 15 off the rim. Lions keep it alive, and that'll bring the first half to a conclusion. Well played first half for two teams that know each other oh so well. Bristol came in, had the lead early, just couldn't hold on to it, and back came the Lions like we knew they would. 41-38, London leads Bristol. It'll be interesting to see how the Lions make the changes coming back to the second half and see if they change their MO and maybe go to a little more up-tempo game, or can Bristol keep that outside shooting alive, because they were hot there, Azania, in the end of first quarter and start of the second quarter from 3.
Yep. They came out really, really strong, and they want to do that in the second half.
Right now, let's set it down on the court. Drew Lasker standing by with the London Lions, Matt Morgan.
Thanks, Matt. Tight affair here. Thoughts on the first 20 minutes?
You know, they made a bunch of tough shots, a lot of defensive lapses by us. So second half, we got to clean that up, keep running in transition, keep playing how we're playing. Eventually, we're going to get a little bit of separation, so we just got to keep playing how we're playing.
And the Bristol speed seemed to be giving you guys a little problem. What are your adjustments there?
We just got to contain, keep them in front, make them make tough shots over us with our length and our size. And then we got a defensive rebound. They're getting tapped to offensive rebounds, so we rebound and run. I think we'll be all right.
And speaking of speed, I called you Speedy Gonzalez. 10 points personally. How were you able to use that speed to get to your spots?
I think because of my shooting ability, it opens up the floor for me a little bit. Obviously, my teammates being shooters definitely helps too, so I just try to get downhill, make plays. If they collapse on me, I kick it out for open shots. If not, I go finish at the rim.
Thanks for your time, Matt. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Jeanette.
Thank you very much, Drew. Matt Morgan there with Drew Lasker, integral part of this London Lions team. And we'll be back with halftime analysis right after this. Welcome back to the British Basketball League. It's a tight one. London Lions leading the Bristol Flyers 41-38. A super fast start from Bristol in that first quarter. Then the Lions, they unleashed some weapons off the bench. But Bristol have absolutely shown their class. They've really turned up to play here for the dub. They're looking for it. Big energy, and they've hit their shots. But London, they have kept the heat on. But Bristol, they're a team who know how to beat the Lions. I've got Josh Steele, Obisoko alongside me. Josh, we kind of predicted this, didn't we, at the start?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like we said, it's the team that comes out and puts out the best performance that win. It doesn't matter what's on paper. And Bristol haven't been scared. They haven't backed down. They're taking the game right to them.
And it was important for Bristol to be able to kind of come out of the gate quite quickly, and you've got to put it on the London Lions. And we've seen in their first couple of games, actually, they started off a bit slow and then picked it up.
Yeah, no, Bristol, they came out immediately firing on all cylinders. You could tell that these guys were locked in. Coach Kapula's got them ready to play. They're definitely not backing down.
They're not backing down at all. Let's talk about their transitions, actually, because that's been a key part of the game, hasn't it, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said in their keys to the game, they're able to disrupt and create a lot of turnovers for Lions, and they've been able to capitalize on those turnovers, which has been important for their lead early on in the beginning. You see here, getting in the passing lanes, able to convert from three even, which they're shooting 50% from at the moment from behind the arc.
And this would have been a strategy they probably would have come out and said, we're going to use this against this London team. They know how to be able to come out here and beat them.
This is a must, especially because their big man might have a tough evening today down there amongst the trees. So them getting stops and able to get out in transition, that's really one of the best options they have in order to sort of increase their 2-point field goal percentage.
And so for London Lions, they probably go back to the locker room now, Josh, and be aware that this is happening. How do they combat this?
Well, they just want to make sure that they're not just coughing up live ball turnovers. You know, they don't want to keep giving away 3 points. So they're probably going to want to tighten up a lot on offense and keep making them make tough shots from three. They probably want to. No team can really shoot 50% all game, so they're going to say, let's see if we can keep them on the outside.
Yeah. So for Bristol, when we're talking about 3-pointers as well, they came out with some big shots and they hit them. Nothing but net we saw there, Ovi.
No, them scoring from the outside is going to be a huge key for them sort of equalising the size of the Lions. The Lions are a big team. They have a lot of length, and they're able to crowd the paint, so it's very, very difficult to get good looks going downhill. So here, as you can see, I mean, you know, the guys, they haven't turned down shots. They've looked for open shots, and as soon as they get a clean look at the basket, they're not turning it down. They're letting the ball go. They're firing away. And this is going to be absolutely important for these guys moving forward, basically.
Yeah, and it's going to frustrate the London Lions, isn't it? But they've just got to be able to keep it together and understand that there is a bigger game plan at play here. Matt Morgan's a key part of that. We heard him speaking to Drew just before we went to break. He has been integral to this team.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 points in just over 7 minutes. That is exactly that kind of explosive kind of scoring we saw in his last game. He's carried that over to this game. He's opened his 3-point shooting, and that's opened up the floor for him and the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, you know, he's been an absolute nightmare for the Bristol Flyers. The guy, he's no stranger to scoring. Scored a lot of points in college, scored a lot of points last year, and he's been scoring a lot of points here this year.
Oh, it's going to be a good second half. Let's see how it goes. But before we get to that, Bristol Flyers captain Raphael Thomas Edwards has become a man who relishes taking on increased responsibility, and his focus is beginning to turn to life after basketball.
Being a captain means so much to me. So this year I wanted to know as much as I can about, like, you know, the background stuff.
Since Raf's been named captain of Bristol Flyers, he's wanted to learn a lot more about what goes on behind the scenes at the club. So today he's come down here to the office at Bristol Sport to learn more about the staff, meet some of the team, and learn more what goes on behind the scenes at Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, let me see the drill. When you're playing, you just think about me. And then when you take like a holistic view, you realize that you're just one piece. So like this year, I've tried to help everybody, like, because I understand how important they are to the Flyers. As I get older, because of basketball and because you present yourself the right way and you used it, you're able to kind of take yourself into the next part of life. So, I don't know, without basketball, I don't know where I'll be, but like I'm thankful for it.
Hey, what y'all doing? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to the British Basketball League, where it's half-time in the opening game of Week 3 between the London Lions and the Bristol Flyers. A score, London Lions leading 41-38. It's a tight game. The points they're bouncing up and down around that court. But every month, we've got a new thing here. We're going to be crowning a player of the month. Our trio of regular experts, Ovi, Azania and Drew, will be picking their favourites. We'll be announcing the winners for September on the show next week, Thursday. Ovi and Josh now. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is part of that conversation? Josh, I'll go for you first. Of course, present company excluded, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I have to say someone who stood out for me is Gabe. Gabe's had a massive impact on the Lions' wins so far, and I think, for me, that's just off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm going with. Very quick one from you, Ovi.
Taj Green, he's been very effective. I think he's with a new squad. They've been able to win, and he's brought the energy and the productivity every single night. So yeah, he gets a tip from me.
We'll just see. Next week, Thursday, it will be revealed. But we can hand down now to Drew. He's with Andreas Kapoulis.
Coach, 12 points off of turnovers. How are we able to capitalize off London's mistakes?
We've got to keep on defending, man. I mean, they're tough. So, we need to get out in transition, and the best way to do it is on the defensive end.
And 50% beyond the arc, what's most urgent if you're going to get out of here with a win?
We're going to compete every single possession right now. Compete every single possession, control what we can control.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
So, Kapoulis, you could hear there, he's got work to do, but he knows pretty much what he has to do there, Josh.
Absolutely. Like I said before, this is how he coaches all of his teams. He imprints that DNA that, we fight for every possession. No matter the score, don't play the score, play each possession. And, you can see that he lives by it.
I mean, 17 years in this game as a coach, Ovi. This is somebody who knows he's got a bit of a game plan. He'll know how to do it.
He's a veteran. He's a regular. He's no stranger to really big games. He's coached on the international stage. He's been a coach at Bristol for a long time, and he clearly knows what he's doing. He's got his team fighting with the Lions.
Let's see, second half coming up, but there's lots of fixtures, of course. It is game week number 3, so let's take a look at what's coming up for you this week. Tomorrow is the Plymouth City Patriots against the Manchester Giants. Coverage starts at 7:30 tomorrow. Newcastle Eagles up against the Cheshire Phoenix, who are doing great, 7:45. Surrey Scorchers, you'll see Josh in action at 5 o'clock on Saturday against the Sheffield Sharks. The Bristol Flyers back in action again, 8 o'clock against the Leicester Riders. And the Plymouth City Patriots back in action against the Sheffield Sharks again, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Cheshire Phoenix against the London Lions at 6 o'clock. They are busy. Lots of doubleheaders this week. It's going to be a super game week 3. But as we head back now for the second half, we can hand you back to Todd Harris and Azania Stewart.
All right, thank you very much, Jeanette, Ovi, Josh. Great intel on the halftime as we look forward to this second half of play. 3-point lead for the London Lions, and it'd be interesting to see if Coach Kapoulis, as he told Drew Lasker, is there's so many different aspects that they need to improve upon. A lot of it teeing off on the defense. And right off the bat, it is Gabe Olasheni that gets the first bucket of the second half.
Well, they definitely need to come out with that same intensity that they did in the first quarter, and actually did all right in the second, but then London Lions is, where they start to roar as their second unit comes onto the floor. And the turnover.
Another turnover for the Flyers, so not the way they started the game early with that nice 8-0 run. It's a 4-0 quick run for the Lions as they push that lead now up to 7. Starting a little bit different for Bristol as they bring on Tajon Lucas to start the game. Brad Green's in there.
Maybe
as is Katie Johnson. Speed. Yeah. Trying to counteract that speed. That one off the mark, and it's going to stay. It's going to go back to the Lions. Lucas had to rush that one to get it up.
Yeah, Bristol Flyers feeling a little, rushed. And that's well done for London Lions, but just Flyers need to settle into this third quarter. I talked about the third quarter being so important and a key moment if London Lions break this open or Flyers stick with it.
Oh, and almost a putback, but the foul is called at the very end. Olasheni, is he going to get... Look at this. Here's crashing. Oh, he just... I think it's going to send Olasheni to the line.
Well, I think the referee kind of swallowed his whistle on that play. And sometimes the FIBA rules are kind of changing, Todd, because now they're waiting that a few more seconds to see what happens with the play, which
kind of like playing advantage.
Yeah, just to see what happens with the shot. But I feel like that's when you start to get frustration from the players. I think you need to tell them, hey, this is the new rule, because I used to get really angry. I'm like, what? Why are you waiting to see what happens if I make it or miss it? Is it a foul or is it not?
Foul's a foul.
Yeah.
And look at this, just like that, out of the break, the London Lions go up now by 9. Certainly the message was given to the Lions from head coach Bocic that, fellas, we got to pick up the pace.
They sure have.
Excellent defense. Lions extend it. Head fake drive up and under, and can't get it to fall as the shot clock expires, and the foul is going to be called this time.
Lucas with the rebound. And Morgan not really happy, but it was an intelligent play. Mistimes the jump, yeah.
Yeah, got him on the way up.
And Morgan helps up Morgan. That's
so
fun
Tajon Lucas now goes to the line, averaging just over 12 points a game as he adds to, and does not add to his tally, trying to cut that lead that has ballooned to 9 points. Some teams just respond better, I guess, coming out of halftime against Bristol. This is not the way they started the game.
Well, we got to speak to Matt Morgan at halftime, and he said we need to clean up a few things and come with better energy, and that's probably definitely been the top of the list at the halftime talk, and they've come out extremely well.
Well, Bristol, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Azania, they don't need to panic at this point. There's still a lot of game to play, but this is the London Lions team, as we've seen before. They can go on patented 9-0, 10-0 runs. And just like that, Connor Morgan buries another 3.
Timeout.
Yeah, Coach Kapoulas has seen enough. So obviously the message he gave them at halftime did not resonate with the fellas when they came onto the court. Now quickly it has gone 50-39. Coach Bocic's squad, they did a great job. They have come out and did a fantastic job responding and obviously cleaning up the things that Matthew Morgan said, telling Drew Lasker that they needed to do.
Great start from them. Out of the locker room, they clearly had a cup of tea at the break, and I hope you guys did too, because they're ready for the third quarter. And I just think it's so important, if you want to win and start to break open that lead, it's how you come out. They came out and answered.
Drew, you're down on the court. What's the mood like there? It's gotten awfully quiet in the Copper Box, and that's because the Lions are closing this thing out.
Well, Todd, that's exactly right, because the London Lions' depth is beginning to overwhelm the Bristol Flyers. So that's an issue for all teams this year, because most teams are 8, 9 deep at most. But the London Lions, we know that all 12 players can be starters all over the continent. So it'll be really interesting to see how the Bristol Flyers come out this timeout. Let's see if they can respond.
Drew, as a forward player, I got to ask you, how long do you think it takes for teams? Because we've seen a lot of new faces in new places. How long do you think it takes for a team like a Bristol Flyers or London Lions to really gel to where they're going to be like mid-season form?
Well, you're not going to see the best from any of these teams for about 2 months. There's always a 6 weeks, I say, just to get in game shape. And then it takes another 2 months as well to get together collectively. So we're ways away to seeing the best of the best.
And sales of Timberland boots took off, we heard after your report, Drew, so well done and keep it up. And look at this. Here we go. Hold on to your seats. And a nice little throwdown there gently as Mo Solowati gets in on the act.
And that's what we're talking about, the great defense into quick offense by Mo Solowati.
This is that patented London Lion run. They lull you into, it's only a bucket or two, and then you have a turnover or two, and pretty soon it's 10-point double-figure lead.
Real quick.
Big Brad Green comes in and said, I'll clean it up.
Don't worry.
6'11" will get it done. And they needed that bucket in a big-time way. Morgan. This time off the mark. Rebound taken away by Johnson. And now we'll see if Bristol can get back into their flow. Inside-out game, get that three-point shot to fall. Kick it around the corner. Fire away. Green thought he could keep it alive, and he does indeed. Last touch by the black jerseys of Solowati and Morgan.
Good job, Green.
It's a tough thing, though, Zany, when you live and die by that three-pointer, and they were hitting a lot of them in the first half. When that shot's not falling in the second half, where do you go next?
Yeah, so tough. But what they're doing is sticking with the boards. They're getting extra rebounds. Unfortunate, Thomas Edwards comes off of his foot. It's a great interview with Thomas Edwards, and you can watch that on the British Basketball League's YouTube channel. It's really lovely that he's, you know, he was a coach in Germany, assistant coach. Now he's the captain of the Flyers.
RTE looking at all aspects of the management, organization, coaching. Perfect guy to slide into that role.
Yeah, and this is the Matt Morgan foul. It's like a running screen.
So Matt Morgan a little frustrated there, and he is called for the foul as Nelson steps over and says, hang in there, young man. Better days ahead. He'll take a seat as Luke Nelson checks into the game. 52-41, 6:35 to play in the third. It's a good sign for hustle if you're a coach, Zania. A lot of bodies jumping on the floor, hustling for stuff.
And that's what you want, is your guys sacrificing their bodies. And there goes coach again. He's not afraid to get down and clean up the mess. We like it, Coach Kapoulis. Well done. It's not even your home arena. We like the overtime. We'll pay you later for that one.
Everyone's helping out. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. And right now, the London Lions have the lead 52-41. If you're the Bristol Flyers and you're Coach Kapoulis, what do you need to do right now, like in the next 2 minutes?
Well, I think you just need to calm down and settle into the game. I think they've played a little bit tight, where before they were playing really fast to their style. Also, the three-point shot's kind of dried up.
Right.
You live and die by it. You have to keep shooting it because it was working, the drive and the kick.
We saw this happen to them earlier in the season against Newcastle. They lost, but they did come back in the late third, early fourth, and go back to that three-pointer which started falling. That is not a bad alternative. If you can get it down that low in the post to Brad Green, that's point blank.
Yeah, I like that drive because you draw the defense of Gabe Olasheni, and then Green's wide open.
Lions will now work it around the perimeter. Nelson, cross-court pass. Morgan wide open again. It gets it to fall +1. Or are they going to wave it off for the flop?
Yeah, the referee showed the technical.
Yeah,
so let's have a look at here.
Technical foul given against number 9 on Morgan.
We're both here saying,
So let's explain that. If we can go possibly go back to the studio. Let's hear from Ovi and Josh. Guys, do you agree with that call, and was it the right call, and why are they instituting that new rule?
Yeah, we were just discussing it now. I think I agree with that call. I didn't agree with it at first, but after seeing the replay, I think he had ample space to land. So, no, I think he flopped.
Negative on my side, I'm sorry. I'm always going to side with the offensive player. You know, I feel like they got to give him a little bit more space than that. Bristol have been playing very physical, but you always got to be on the right side of physicality before it becomes dangerous.
50-50 there.
Yeah, we need Jeanette to break the tie. 55-43, 5:52 to play in the third, and things are getting, I'd say things are getting a little chippy now as defense is tightened up just a little bit. You see Tajon Lucas being subbed out now as Trajan Jacob will check in. A little more size for the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, Jacob's played some really lovely minutes today. 9 points so far.
Trying to get the ball to Jacob's hands, and is intercepted. Well done there by Mo Solowati. Nelson keeps his foot down. Back to Morgan in the corner. Defense tightening up. Look how close the Flyers are playing this. Solowati thought about the three. He'll drive, kick it down outside, and that ball is knocked away. Morgan left open for a three. Step back, drains it. No technical this time.
Yeah, but his bench love it, and they stand up and put the 3 points up. Managed to catch that into his step back. Lovely answer.
And just moments ago, as we were talking about this lead getting out of control, 9, 10, 11. It has now gone to 15 in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, so quick. Luke Nelson not happy with that call. And he's so he's such a competitor. He doesn't like to lose, and especially with the referees, you see him all the time having a lovely conversation, obviously being very respectful. Mr. Nelson.
Coach Kapoulas making a quick change there as Lucas just went out literally 30 seconds ago. He's back on the floor, and they bring Samuels back on as well. Lucas driving, gets hung up in the air, it is kicked, and it'll stay with the Flyers. Shot clock reset at 14, 5:05 to play in the third. And meanwhile, you've got the Lions that are resting the likes of Josh Sharma, Kieran Sandy. They're all just waiting to come in and get their opportunity. Matthew Morgan's not on the court right now. Off the screen, off the inbounds, and that one's going to go right. Back come the Lions. Numbers aren't there, so he pulls it back out.
Great way for the Flyers to get back. There's a foul there, but did you see they're in a full-court sprint to get back on defense to stop the transition. A lovely job by them. They're not giving London Lions easy. Look at this full sprint, 100 meters. They could be in it. 4, 5 guys back. Well done. I love that for them.
Stoppage in play with 4:55 to go in the third. It is the Lions on top of the Flyers. We'll have much more when we return to the Copper Box Arena. Welcome back to London's Copper Box Arena here on Sky Sports Thursday night British Basketball League as the London Lions are threatening to blow this thing wide open. Bristol Flyers, who beat them twice last year, trying to stop the hemorrhaging. And we got stoppage in play, and it looks like Trajan Jacob got hit, caught in the eye with either an inadvertent hand or elbow, and he's going to go to the bench.
Yeah, I think it's cut open maybe. Let's have a look. I think it was just the elbow came down. Let's have a look. By his own man.
Player, yeah. You don't want to catch a big chicken wing from big Brad Green.
Wrong place, like wrong time.
Sledgehammer. Oh yeah, he caught a little something more than a chicken wing. And stoppage once again. So fouls starting to stack up as players are going off to the side. This is some tough ball now. It started out as a bit of a track meet, shooting, and now it is some grinded out British Basketball League basketball. Nelson on the kick. Olasheni gets caught up in the air and taken away, and so now an opportunity for the Flyers to cut into that lead.
Leslie Smith, good defense by him.
Oh, great help defense there by the Lions. Saw that entry pass and just picked it off. That's great work by Phillip.
Well, here's The help defense by him, and he's quick enough to run inbounds, get the ball, and keep it inbounds.
Gotta be the shoes. Deep range three doesn't fall, and back come the Flyers. Now, this is go time, Azania. This is one of those times where this thing can go south fast, quickly, if they don't get a bucket here or a stop. Oh, nice little piece of dribbling there. Ball is on the floor, so are plenty of bodies, and back come the Flyers again. Lots of empty possessions here.
Empty possessions, but a lot of bodies, like you said, flying on the floor. But it means a lot for both of these guys.
Ooh. Looks like Lucas is going to hit the deck. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, Mo Salawade with a hard foul. We get to see it a second time. Thank you.
Mo knew he got his money's worth, so he just wouldn't help the scorekeeper out. Hand in the air. 15-point lead for the Lions. 3:43 to play in the third here in the Copper Box Arena on a beautiful Thursday night in the capital city. I've noticed a trend.
Yeah,
you know what that trend is?
Yep.
Remember about 4 or 5 years ago, the shorts were like the big baggy, the heavy. Yeah. We're going the other way.
Yes.
Not quite John Stockton yet, but we're going that way.
The short shorts. Yeah. Lucas with the free throws and the short shorts.
There you go.
We like it.
Every angle covered on this broadcast. 58-44, 3:43 to play in the third with the fourth quarter still to go. And this is when we've talked prior to the tip-off with Ovi Soko and Josh Steele about depth. And London certainly has the depth to go in a long slugger's chance in 4 quarters of basketball. They're going to call the illegal screen as Nelson buries a long-range three that will not count.
And Leslie Smith gets called with that foul. But what I like about the Flyers right now, they're not backing down. Their intensity is still really high. You can see them chasing over screens on every ball.
Josh Sharma's checked into the game as Grantham's shot can't connect. Lucas always looking to push the pace for the Flyers, try to get them back in their momentum. Had an 8-point lead at one time, and that turnaround jumper will fall. Big bucket for Bristol. Down to a 12-point lead. Taylor to Nelson.
Nelson. Fadeaway 3-point shot. Huge answer.
Oh, and Sharma just wipes that one clean and gets the rebound.
So good.
Back come the Lions. Lord Nelson. Little 5-0 run to answer back as Bristol. This is just demoralizing when you get it down to 12 points, Azania. You feel like you got a little momentum, and all of a sudden the Lions just pounce.
Boom. Open it wide open. 2 shots, 5 points from Luke Nelson himself. Went on a little run there. And then Josh Sharma protecting the rim.
Let's talk about what we were mentioning during halftime and the importance of getting off to a great start in the third period. Bristol certainly needed to do that, and they did not answer when they came out of the locker room.
They didn't. London Lions spoke about it, especially Matt Morgan. And here we see all the quick buckets in the third. And I just think they came out with intensity, and all 5 players, and even going into the bench, were ready. They were locked in. They knew they had to come out better in this second half.
Connor Morgan has been lethal from outside. He doesn't need much room, doesn't need much time. Coach Bosch is looking at his bench. What do I bring in next? What is the combination that's going to just blow this thing wide open with 2:40 to play here in the third? And I think Matt Morgan's still mad about that missed dunk. He does not look happy about that missed dunk.
I think you're right. And, you know, he's such a competitor. He wants to win. He wants to be great. But also he's a true scorer.
So he looks on. Bristol now looking for something special. 63-46. The Lions on top. 2:40 to play here in the third in the Copper Box here in London. Early part of the season here in the British Basketball League. And so far, what has impressed you most about what you've seen? Because you've called a lot of games.
Yeah, I have. I've just enjoyed the intensity. I think a lot of teams have gone out and got some really clutch players. And just the way the league is going forward. I think every team is, solid. It's fun to watch. And I've really enjoyed the Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah.
They've been very, very good.
All right, now let's go on the floor and check in with Drew Lasker. That one off the backboard. We'll check in with Drew momentarily. Get his comms sorted out. 64-46 coming up on 2 minutes to play in the third. Oh, behind the back. Now you're just showing off. Look at this. Sharma gets with it. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Otherwise, Sharma would have been throwing that thing down hard. So as Josh Sharma strolls his 7-foot frame to the line, we check in on the court with our very own Drew Lasker.
Hey guys, I was just next to the Bristol Flyers bench, and they spent 5 minutes trying to stop the bleeding from Tajon Jacobs' head. Looks like they reverted to going ahead and wrapping it. If that's the case, he might be done for the night. And with the Flyers only generating 8 points this quarter, and with Jacobs sitting on 9, that'll be a huge miss here tonight, guys.
Drew, is this a situation, as you look at the body language of the Bristol Flyers, that they come out and they just don't have the energy here in the second half, and they just don't have the depth, obviously, to match the London Lions?
Well, I think I talked about it at the top of the show. I said, to beat the London Lions, you have to continue to score. And they haven't been able to do that in the second half. And so they shot 50% from beyond the 3 in the first, but that's not sustainable on the road. So you've got to find other ways to get it done, in particular using Brad Green inside, which they haven't done.
Yeah, great stuff, Drew. Appreciate it. Zania, to his point, to Drew's point, we talked about London. You got to match them. You got to answer.
Yeah, all great points from Drew. Thank you, darling. We love your expertise. And, he's right. They didn't shoot well in the second half. And but they are playing hard still. They need to learn to keep fighting into this game.
Bristol Flyers now down by 20. 1:12 to go, so there'll be a long talk during the break between the third and fourth period. And Andreas Kopoulos, the head coach, in his 17th year with the Bristol Flyers, will try to come up with a secret formula, some kind of combination, Azania, that can match what London's doing.
Well, the combination is to play hard and to play every play. You want to just keep chipping away. This lead has blown up to 20 points real quick in this third quarter. We spoke about it. We showed you highlights about it. The London Lions came out in the third. I always knew.
Oh, my goodness. And Sharma, a beautifully timed alley-oop pass. He just cannot finish, and Bristol makes them pay. So now it's starting to chip away as Lucas, what could have been a highlight reel show on the alley-oop, goes a bucket the other way and a foul away from the ball against the Flyers.
Well, I know Mr. Sharma is not going to be happy about that one. He usually slams that one home. Grantham put it on a plate, went upstairs, and then just rimmed in and out.
Roll Graham Bell almost found himself on a Josh Sharma poster, as Sharma ain't able to get the elevation, and that's something we don't say very often, to put that one down with authority. So Jordan Taylor strolls to the line and hits the first of 2, the former Wisconsin Badger out of Bloomington, Minnesota. Averages about 8 points a game early in the season. They'll be relying on him throughout the season. Taylor, just such a steady hand at 33 years of age, a true veteran of the British Basketball League.
And then that's all great points that you've just made there, Todd. He comes off the bench, stays in his lane, works hard, isn't afraid of coming off the bench, doesn't, take it to heart and just gets buckets.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Tajon Lucas is not afraid. He is going into the tall timbers with the likes of Morgan and Sharma and the rest of them, and he's still going up, and he's taking a hard hit. That's about the 4th or 5th time he's gone down. Hopefully this is just a cramp situation.
Let's have a look.
Karen Sandy.
When you have a cramp, you're supposed to wiggle your toes.
Really? Is that the secret?
Yeah, it's the secret. You know, when you're sleeping in bed and then it just goes wham, and people go, you're supposed to wiggle your toes, get the blood moving again.
And you have enough wherewithal to go, oh, wait a second, I need to wiggle my toes.
Yeah, you'll be in pain, but that's the trick.
So wiggling the toes,
yeah,
whether you're on a basketball court or in bed, just the cramp goes away.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, it does.
All right. For all your medical questions, just call Azania Stewart and she'll have the answers for you, whether it's wiggling your toes or getting an ice pack. I thought it was eat a banana. I thought it was getting the potassium going.
But you can't eat a banana right now on the court.
Oh, yeah,
can you?
instantaneous. Just someone hand me a banana.
Right.
Some of the best concessions in the league in the copper box. Sure, they could wrangle up a banana. Final 26 seconds to go here in the third period. Bristol Flyers trying to hang around and make this one interesting to see if they go on a run in the fourth as they extend their defense out. Shot clock at 11, game clock at 15. Drive down the lane and one, and that's exactly what the Flyers did not want to have happen.
Dante Grantham, and he just goes to work. Here we go. Nope. This is the cramp that he should have wiggled his toes.
Toes or a banana, one of the two.
Thank you. Hey, we're a team. Thank you, cameraman.
You got it. You got to get the goods. Got you the goods. So Dante Grantham, the 28-year-old out of Clemson, South Carolina, averaging just over 11 points a game and 6 rebounds, buries it to make the three-point play. So, you sing the praises of Bristol. They're tough, they're gutty, they're hanging in there, but they've got to get some stops as well as score. Can't trade baskets at this point. Oh, up and under, and Sharma got caught up in the air looking for a rejection, and a nice job by Keedy Johnson to keep that play alive.
Here's Johnson, left hand, and then uses the rim, and this is so smart. When you're smaller than a big, Josh Sharma, you use the rim to protect yourself because he can't block the shot. Takes the foul, and he's going to the line.
That's nightmare fuel right there. You got a 7-footer coming on your back.
Yeah.
He's going to put your shot into the third row of the copper box.
You have to use the rim.
Johnson did a great job of, as Azania said, using the rim to protect it. Gets the shot up, can't get it to fall. Had he got that to fall, that might have been play of the week.
Really nice. And that's what I'm saying, using the rim to use the reverse layup and get to the other side of the rim. So Josh Sharma cannot block that shot. He did a very good job in that.
Final 3 seconds of the third period. The Lions try to get this one in. The long pass off the hands of Sharma, and he knocks it out of bounds. So that leaves almost 2 seconds to go for the Bristol Flyers. Now, not a pivotal moment in the game, but if they can get a decent shot off and carry a little momentum going into the fourth, there's always a chance.
Well, there's always a chance, especially how the Flyers shot in the first quarter.
And the Flyers are happy to let those last seconds run off. So that'll wrap things up for the third period. It is all London Lions as they go on one of their patented runs, and they are trying to put away the Bristol Flyers, a team that got them twice last year. Does not look to be the Flyers' night here in the copper box, but still the fourth period remains. We'll be back with the fourth and final stanza here. You're watching British Basketball League on Sky Sports. Final period has arrived here at the Copper Box Arena in East London. This is British Basketball League Game of the Week on Sky Sports. Todd Harris alongside Azania Stewart, and we've got Jeanette Kwachi, Obi Soko, and Josh Steele back in the studio. So, big opportunity here, Azania, for the Bristol Flyers. They've got to get back to shooting outside and, more importantly, getting those shots to fall.
Yeah, I think this fourth quarter is going to be so important if they can just chip away at this lead.
And the shot clock was winding down, so Pasquale Landolfi, that's a tough situation to be put in. He hasn't played all game. He comes in, and he's got to hoist up a three cold.
Tough situation, but it's the right shot. With the shot clock running down, you've got to shoot it.
Young man out of the University of Bristol, getting his first minutes. And now we'll see what the Lions come back and do. Do they slow the pace down, or do they keep doing Lion-type things? Rebound taken away by the aforementioned Landolfi.
Well, with Jacob with that cut forehead, I don't think we'll see him.
How about this? Landolfi comes in, takes two shots, hits the three, and gets a rebound.
Yep, instant offense. Put me in the game, coach.
Those are good numbers.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Can he keep it going for 10 minutes?
Hopefully.
And keep the Lions from answering back. Sharma keeps that one alive, man. Cutting to the rim and throw down. Dante Grantham with the hammer.
Rocks the rim.
Nice leave underneath, up and in, and they're going to call that basket 2 because the rim or net was interfered with. This is what they needed to be doing early in the third period.
But good answer back, and this is what Coach Kapoulis' team is about, as Grantham rocks the rim. Lovely replay, thank you. But he needs his team to answer. Don't, give up and warm up the bus and go home. Just stick with it, chip away.
Sharma with the one-handed jump hook / jump shot / Stanford Cardinal special from 10 feet out, and he buries it.
That was pretty.
Almost like he was shooting down, but when you're 7 feet and you have a little bit of elevation, that's going to happen. Trying to get it to the inside. Their big man, Brad Green, trying to answer back. He finds two black jerseys there, kicks it to the corner. And the man with instant offense, Pasquale Landolfi. Coach may be thinking, why did I get him in sooner? Foul's going to be called there on Roel Grambel. Stops the clock and stops play. It'll be inbounded by the Lions, and Jordan Taylor will do that. So 20 seconds on the shot clock. London really hasn't changed their MO, Azania. They are still playing their pace. They're not trying to run the game out. They're not trying to play slow down offense. Beautiful interior pass and good defense there as Brad Green is going to be called for the foul.
And Brad Green is saying he wants all ball. Let's have a look. Good cut by Morgan, though. I think it's just a slap across the arm. I didn't get to see a good angle, but I got to
that
see
big
it.
a body making contact. They're not going to miss that.
But I like this fourth quarter energy from the Flyers. Good answer. They're getting tough buckets down the other end, making London Lions have to work for their offense.
Matthew Morgan back to the line, averaging 18 points a game. Started off the game really hot early, and then just frustration took over. He's into double figures now with 10 points. Both teams looking forward to their next games. Of course, if you're a Bristol Flyer fan, you've got 2 home games coming up at the SGS College Arena in Bristol. They'll take on Leicester Riders. And then the alley-oop to Sharma. And Sharma can't finish it. And we've seen that, I'm not saying multiple times, but I'll let you remind him as there's a foul in the backcourt. It's going to be a clear path violation here. Watch this. This is usually automatic.
It's not like Sharma. Maybe he had a bit too much pizza yesterday at the club slice party that I put on for the Women Lions team.
Jordan Taylor took a swipe, and that drew the ire of the officials. Tevin Olesen will step up, and he'll get some free ones. As I was saying, next game for the Bristol Flyers, they got the Leicester Riders this Saturday at home, and then about a 6-day break. They don't play again until Friday, and they welcome in the Sheffield Sharks.
Okay. The Lions have been full on also. They had 2 games last week, so they came in 3-0. The rest of the league's only played 2 games, unless you're Josh's team for Surrey Scorchers.
Well rested.
Well rested, but then they will go on a 2 to 3 game streak, or run, shall I say, in the next couple of weeks.
17-point lead, 7:10 to play in the ball game, as we will have to release Josh Steele as Brad Green hits that. We'll have to release Josh Steele back to his normal working job playing for Surrey.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the players watch and critique his analysis.
I think so.
You think he gets that?
Yeah. I think they give him a hard time for sure.
Does a great job both on the court and in the studio. Good defense, and they're going to call the foul on the drive, and it looks like Pasquale Landolfi may have got him on the arm.
Well, one thing both teams not doing a bad job as we get to see this. Matt Morgan, good patience from the free throw line. London Lions 17 from 17. They're 100%. That's a lovely little stat there. And then 14 from 18 for the Flyers. Both teams doing a really lovely job getting to the rim and getting fouls.
Deep range 3. Green goes and gets it. Ball immediately taken away by Morgan. He puts up his 3 and buries it.
What an answer.
That'll make you forget about the dunk.
Yeah, that would hurt my feelings though if I was Green.
Answer back by Olesen. You know it's my birthday, right? Olesen says, you know it's my birthday. I'm burying this.
Happy birthday to him. Turned 26 today.
15-point game with 6:24. You know what? Bristol may go down to loss, but I'll tell you what, they are not quitting. Coach Kapoulis trying to draw up something. I'll tell you right now, their best options may be Olesen and then Dolphy from outside.
Dolphy, yeah. He's come off the bench. That's fantastic for him to stay ready. I think that's so difficult, and people don't really talk about that when, you know, you haven't been playing, you haven't been called, but when your number does get called, you come in right away, instant offense, and you give your team something, and I really appreciate that. And guess who's back in the game?
Yeah. So Friday, you won't want to miss this on YouTube, the YouTube channel for British Basketball League at 7:30. You got the Plymouth City Patriots taking on the Manchester Giants. Both teams looking for something big. And it's a doubleheader, folks. One night of great basketball in 2 games. Newcastle Eagles taking on the Cheshire Phoenix. And Xenia, I think you'll be calling that game?
I think so.
So you can count on genius commentary as well. So there's the bonus. And then on Saturday, the Surrey Scorchers. Josh Steele will be in action as they take on the Sheffield Sharks. That's coming up at 5 o'clock on the YouTube channel. And then we'll cap things off on Saturday at the doubleheader there with the same Bristol Flyers taking on the Leicester Riders. Sunday's a big day as well.
Yep.
Plymouth City, the Patriots, Sheffield Sharks. Man, good times roll. A double header. London Lions taking on the Cheshire Phoenix. There's games everywhere. Wall-to-wall games.
Yeah, 3 games on
Tis
Sunday.
the season of the British Basketball League. Great defense there, and they come back, and he's going to be bailed out by the foul. Kind of got hung up in the air there, and I thought he was going to come down and be called with the travel, but he is bailed out, so Graham Bell now heads to the line. Roll Graham Bell, the 6'6" forward out of London, coming off a 13-point performance against Newcastle in the loss.
And that will be Matt Morgan's 3rd foul. He tells Coach Bozic, I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, but he does send Luke, but then he puts him back on the bench, so he's giving, you know, Morgan trust in him.
Yeah.
Hey, don't pick up that 4th foul. This is really, you know, a tough time, I think, a decision for the coach. Do you take him out? But they're obviously up a fair bit. I don't know what I would do. You've got to trust him.
Don't look now, but it's a 13-point game. It was just a few moments ago that we were talking about a 20-point game. The Bristol Flyers are not going anywhere with 6 minutes to play in this one, trying to pull off the improbable if they can close this thing down, but they're going to need some big stops right here. Bodies flying, and again, Bristol comes up with a stop and steal.
Yeah, solid defense by the Flyers.
Gonna convert this into points. Deep range 3, connects. How about this? We are down to a 10-point game. So they have cut the 20-point lead in half, and we've still got 5:35 to play in the fourth.
And an 8-0 run from the Bristol Flyers. We thought Bozic has called a timeout, but maybe not.
Back in the studio, Josh Steele, Ovi Soko watching this one. Ovi, this has got to be a nightmare if you're a London Lion that you've let them back into this game.
Oh, I mean, you just can't be lackadaisical. You know, you got to come out here. You got to be ready to play for 40 minutes. These are the problems I think the Lions ran into when I was playing with the guys last season. And I think you're seeing a little bit of that here. And the Bristol Flyers, hat off to those guys. They've stayed with it. They stayed in the game long enough to sort of give themselves the chance that they have now. So it'll be really good to see how this closes out.
Lovely point.
And Josh, I guarantee you're going to go back to your team, and next time you guys play Bristol and say, these guys don't go away. They're like bad luggage. You can't get rid of them.
No, absolutely, yeah. They're relentless, man. They don't give up. This comes from Coach Kapoulas. He tells them to ignore the score and just play every possession.
All right, thanks, Josh. Ovi, much more from you guys when the game wraps up. And that was a huge 3 from the Lions to push the lead back to 13. The Copper Box Arena a little bit shell-shocked, not because they ran out of nachos, but the Flyers cut this thing back to 10 points. And we still got 5 minutes of ball to play. Wow, look at this. They have got their confidence and their mojo rolling again.
Well, this is becoming a real fun last and final quarter. Morgan hit the 3, and then the Bristol Flyers answer back.
And a 3-point and 1, and it looks like they're going to get big Brad Green on that one.
And Matt Morgan is just going into his bag. Look at this. Little up and under. Takes the little bump from Green. And he means business.
Drew Lasker talked about the first step of Morgan, and he gets it done that time and draws the foul. We've got a good one here in East London on Sky Sports. London, the Lions, they lead it, but they're in a little bit of danger because the Bristol Flyers are sticking around. We've got a good one in East London at the Copper Box. The London Lions had a 20-point lead, and here come the Bristol Flyers. They are not going away. I love their defense. They've been making every single possession count.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. I love their intensity, not backing down, and that's from their head coach. Hey, stand up, and that's what he told them at the front of the, the top of the game.
Right.
And good answer. Don't back down and make this game interesting.
Key possession here, trying to get some more points. Keep the pressure on the Lions. That one goes awry. And here comes London back running. Morgan driving, laying up and in off the glass. And I'll tell you what, Matt Morgan, he has been sensational tonight.
And he means business. We talked about his speed. Drew spoke about his first Timberland step. But the Flyers aren't going away.
Tevin Olesen says, you know, it is my birthday, and I got cake to eat when I get back in the locker room, so he buries another 3 to keep it interesting as we go under 4 minutes to play. 87-75, London on top. Quick pass. Deflected, Morgan retrieves it. And he's going to be fouled on a 3-point attempt. One of the last guys you want to send to the line, as Matt Morgan, pretty rock-solid free throw shooter. Do you agree with this call, Azania?
We get to see a second look. Let's have a look. I mean, what's the difference between...
that what Connor Morgan did?
And what Connor Morgan. Morgan, I don't know. But anyway, it's the call that the referee has signaled, and he'll get 3 shots at the rim.
We've talked a lot about Bristol sticking around and how tough they've been, but I got to be honest with you, London has done, you know, it got down to 10, and then they, to Ovi and Josh's point, they kind of woke up a little lackadaisical, and then they're like, okay, we got to pick things up, and they're answering back now.
Yeah, and who answered back was Morgan, Matt Morgan, because we have 2 Morgans who are also running.
So you're saying one of the Morgans could win
man of the match?
Man of the match.
For sure, but I'm going with Matt Morgan. I just think
player of the game, man of the match.
Yeah, he's just turned up the energy. You can see he's taking offense. You know, he's like, don't worry, boys. I'll put the team on my back. And just been instant offense this last couple of minutes in this fourth.
Coach's dream to be able to step up and answer back, hitting those clutch free throws. Clutch free throw, I should say. Draws the foul. Nice job there by Keaty Johnson. Stops the clock as he gets the foul on Olesheni.
That's so smart by Johnson, because he knows Olesheni is a block. You know, he's coming over to block the shot. Nice shot fake, gets him up in the air, and then gets into his body.
Coach starting to realize that he is running out of time, despite the fact that his team is playing inspired ball here in London. 89-76, Bristol. Got to get more stops. Cannot trade baskets at this point with 3:33 to go.
You know, but this Bristol team, I think, are going to be really exciting and going to, you know, they finished 3rd last season. They lost against Newcastle last game, but really could have gone either way. Won their first game and played really tough against this London Lions as they get the steal.
Great defense there. Here comes Keaty Johnson up off the glass. Comes up short. Probably could have got another step in, and that one goes awry. And they're keeping the ball alive. And look who steps back in. The man rocking the headband right now as Trajan Jacob came in. Remember, he cut his head. He caught an elbow from one of his own players, and as our own Drew Lasker reported, unable to stop the bleeding, so they go to the bandage, and now it looks like he is good to go. But, man, that is a gutsy play. If he could have converted this would have been huge.
And he gets the 6 with it. And you're right with the bandage. Doesn't matter. Put me back in the game, cut or not.
10-point game, 3:04 to go. Bristol's going to have to keep doing what they're doing, play a little bit of helter-skelter basketball, taking some more chances. But London, step up, hit your foul shots.
Hey, to cut into this lead, make it a 10-point game, it's more, you know, you can handle that. That 20-point lead is difficult, but when you cut it down to 10, you just give that glimmer of hope. There's 3 minutes. They play fast. They can score quickly. They're in the game.
The officials are going to go to the scoring table to discuss something, and Coach Kapoulis is happy to help them discuss it, especially if it's beneficial to his squad. I'll tell you what, if you came to the Copper Box today and thought you were going to see a blowout, it looked that way in the 3rd quarter when the London Lions went up by 20. But I'll tell you what, as a fan of basketball and the British Basketball League, I want to see this. I want to see Bristol come back and make this a game with 3 minutes to go. I want to see a cliffhanger as long as your team finishes on top, right?
Yeah, and also they came out so strong in that 1st quarter. London Lions didn't have an answer until the last kind of 2 minutes of the 1st, but the 3rd quarter was the London Lions push. And now it's Bristol, you know, answering back and just kind of sticking around a bit too long.
Luke Nelson steps up, calmly buries that one. 85% free throw shooter on the season. Yeah, these are just huge. Full confidence, buries them both.
Nothing but net.
So 3 minutes to play. Bristol Flyers need a bucket and a stop. London extending that defense. Lions not going to give them an easy 3. On the drive, looked like he might have stepped out of bounds, and somehow, up and under, does Tevin Olesen get that one to drop. I thought when he slid his foot on the right side of the baseline, Zane, he might have stepped on the line, but the Bristols were right there, no call. So back to 10.
Yeah, good finish. Gritty finish, actually very difficult.
Every possession is key, but this one I've got to think it's huge. With under 2.5 minutes to play, they've got to get a stop. They get a foul.
Don't worry. The guy.
Morgan.
Yep.
Mr.
Morgan. Look at this. Left-handed, takes the bump and gets the ball into the right hand. And then does a roly-poly.
Yeah, Leslie Smith really caught in no man's land. His hands weren't up, his hands were down. They were kind of in mid-range, and the smaller, faster player just kind of took it right into his body. So 2:23 to go in the ball game. It's a 10-point lead. What was a 20-point lead just about 4 minutes ago, and the Bristol Flyers sitting at 1-1 in this early season with wins over Plymouth and loss to Newcastle, trying to take down the undefeated London Lions, who are perfect 3-0 on the season after getting victories over Surrey, Caledonia, and most recently Manchester. And Morgan misses that one.
Yeah, Morgan sits on 24 points. He missed the first game of the season. And first two, and his first game was last game and was just instant offense. Todd just came out, touched the ball for the first time, step back three, he drains it.
I think that's the last we're going to see of Mr. Morgan, unless you name him the player of the game.
I think I'm going to.
Okay.
25 points.
Azania Stewart approved.
Good day at the office.
11-point lead, 2:17. Long range three off the heel, and it is taken away by Tariq Phillip, who calms the black jersey Lions, and they'll bring it up slowly, maybe burn a little clock as we go up on 2 minutes. Kick out, long range three. Lord Nelson off the rim. Surprised they didn't run more clock, the Lions. Oh, the follow-up not there, and who's the go-to? He's going to stay with the Flyers.
Great job by Thomas Edwards. He's so strong, has a quick bounce. And, he never gives up, constantly on the boards, working really, really hard. Well, there's our man.
There you go, 25 points,
Player
2 rebounds.
Game, Great day for a Thursday night.
Yeah, and that might have been the shot that they really needed, with 1:44 to play in the ball game. And now the Lions can just really slow it down and run some clock. Still 10 minutes on the shot clock. Nice give and go, and the throwdown. That is perfectly executed.
Textbook pick and roll. Let's have another look if we can.
What a turn of events there, with London trying to hold fort and take a defensive stand. And watch this, Azania, beauty.
Yep. Perfect. Pick and roll, thank you. And nice finish at the rim. And just really, I think, the cherry on top. It's just kind of the dagger in the heart of the Flyers. They've done really well, just don't have enough in the tank.
So with under 90 seconds to play in a deep range three on the way, that is not going to sink. Flyers keep it alive and immediately throw it into the arms of a London Lion player. Grantham will be fouled, and looks like he may go to the line with a little extra sauce on that one, as Olsing not happy with that.
Nope. And doesn't make a play at the ball, kind of pushes him in the back.
What's your assessment of London going forward? I mean, we knew coming in they were a good team at 3-0. Everyone's going to be gunning for the champs. You always get their best.
Yeah, I think the only thing they need to kind of fine-tune is coming out ready from minute one. Because at the end of the day, you are the top team.
Right.
You are, the bullseye on the back. Everyone wants to beat you. So every night, the British Basketball League, any team is going to come in and give you their best basketball. And so I just think they do get it together once the game is done. But I think if they could get it together, minute one.
So it's the hoop and the harm, and they keep possession of the ball so they can run another 10 seconds off the clock. Nelson just working the outside. Another three-pointer on the way.
But what I do love about London Lions, I think I've hung out with them a couple at Media Day and at the pizza joint yesterday. Their chemistry and, they're a really lovely group. They look like they're having a lot of fun together.
Ooh, that one's well off the mark. Bodies flying. Basketball's not hitting anything there, and now it's just run out the clock as we are under 40 seconds to play. Grantham hoists that up. Ref's going to let him play on. And for the Bristol Flyers, you gave me our assessment of the London Lions going forward. They've got 2 big games at home. They can quickly get back to 3 victories and get a winning record going if they can get the wins over the Riders and the Sharks over the next week. What do they need to change?
Yeah, no, I don't think they need to change too much. I think they've been really tough. Obviously, they lucked out and didn't win against Newcastle, but could have won that game. And I think they're a really great team all round. They play together. I think they're going to be pretty tough. Hopefully, these next 2 games get your confidence back, get those wins, and be 3-2. Is that good maths?
Yes, correct.
That quick maths, yeah.
Get to 3-2 if they can win the next 2. London Lions will look to push their record to 5-0 on the next fixture. They will run their record to 4-0 now with victories over Surrey, Caledonia, Manchester, and in 29.5 seconds, the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, I don't want the Flyers to feel that bench look like, sad puppies. And look, they're answering back. They haven't given up. They can build a lot from this game.
96-84 now. Bristol still pressuring, trying to get another crack at it, but it's just going to be too little too late. But a great charge over that last 5 minutes here in the 4th period after they trailed by 20 to come back to cut this thing down to make it look a little more respectable. Onside, and it's a beautiful finish there. Easy for Gabe Olasheni. The power of the stash. 98-84. So it'll end up being a 14-point win for the London Lions as Bristol comes to town. They get out early. They had a great start, getting up to an 8-point lead. But in the end, it was the Lions flexing their muscle and showing their depth.
Yeah, the depth, I think, is so important. That right there, Matt Morgan is the guy. I think he's, been so great for this team. Instant offense. But like I said, I think this chemistry, you can see they're smiling, they're clapping, they're giving the extra pass. They're playing great team basketball.
Yeah, Matt Morgan had a great show tonight. All the team did. I mean, Coach had weapons coming off the bench right and left. You got to give it up also to Connor Morgan, no relation, but Connor Morgan had a great night, being able to step outside and bury threes when they needed it most.
You had 5 guys in double digits. Olasheni, Connor Morgan also was great with 17. He could have nearly been the man of the match. And then Grantham with 11 points and Nelson with 9. So
Josh Sharma coming in, getting 8 points and 6 rebounds to chip in as well. So the fans of the Copper Box Arena leave happy. The final score, London 98, Bristol 84, as the Lions move their record early in the season to 4-0, and Bristol will head home for their next 2 games to take place inside their home building at the SGS College Arena. We'll see how they fare over the next 2, and the celebration is on as Sharma, he might be getting the how many dunks did you miss award?
I think so.
Never misses dunks. That's what was so surprising. He usually, that's like instantaneous.
But look, I just think that's such a nice clip there. The guys, jumping up and down, clapping to the crowd, their smiles. They've been tested, but the real test is once they go on, the road and their European leg starts. That's when they're really going to have to dig deep and we will be tested.
So once again, the conclusion of the game in London, it is 98-84, London on top of Bristol. It's now time to send it down to our Drew Lasker, who's standing by with the player of the game, none other than Matt Morgan.
That is correct. I'm here with Matt Morgan. The Flyers were able to make things interesting, but ultimately you were able to pull away late.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They got some guards that can really get up and down, really score. They made a lot of tough shots at the basket, a lot of tough threes, but some of them you got to live with, but that's a good team. I'm glad we finished it how we did, but, we got a quick turnaround, so we got to put this one behind us.
And with 5 minutes left, it's a 10-point lead. You decided to take over the game. What was said from the Flyers bench that got you riled up?
I think after I got the steal, I had missed a couple threes. I shot that last one. I heard a bunch of, that's all that type of stuff. So when it went in, all it takes is one shot, a couple people to say a couple things to get me going. So thank you to them for getting me going, but I'm happy for this team that we got this win.
And just finally, you suffered an ankle injury early in preseason. You come back 18 points on Saturday, 25 tonight. How important is those performances for your individual confidence?
I think it's huge. It gets me back in a rhythm. I was out for about a 4-week period. But credit to my teammates, man. They always push me to keep going, keep being aggressive, keep being myself. But 18 and 25 is just the beginning. We got a lot more games to go, so hopefully I can stay consistent.
Well, terrific performance, great win, great job. Congratulations. Back to you, Jeanette.
Thank you very much, Drew. Congratulations to Matt Morgan. After a tight first half, just like that, the points crept up. 3 minutes into the third, the Lions went up by 11. And that's what the Lions do. The depth just starts to show. And the teams that try to come out of the gate quickly can't quite sustain the pressure they are trying to apply to the Lions. And they entered the fourth with a 20-point buffer. And then it was cruise control, or was it? 5 minutes to go. The Flyers decided to shake up a bit and close that gap. But in the end, almost inevitably, Lions make it 4 wins from 4. And then here we go. We can take a look at these stats. Josh Steele, Obi Soko alongside me. Josh, you're looking at that. What really jumps out for you there, that 98-84 win?
Overall, honestly, apart from the stats, I think the Lions did a good job of going on a run early in the third. And I think over here, they're shooting 50% from the field. You know, you shoot like that, you're going to put yourself in a good position to win the game.
And that's exactly what they did. They actually took their time. They really understood what they needed to do coming out in that third and actually did the job, Ovi.
Yeah, they took care of all the little details, all the fine details. They took care of rebounding. They shared the ball very well. I think they had like 22 assists, meaning that, you know, the chemistry is getting there. And we're seeing the Lions progressively continue to improve game to game.
And it was that start to the third, wasn't it, Josh, where we saw the tide really start to turn with the London Lions?
Yeah, absolutely. Basketball was a game of runs, and London did a good job of regrouping and going on a big run of their own. I think Bristol just didn't do enough early sooner to stop the bleeding, and they, you know, gave themselves too big of a hole to dig at the end.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Sometimes with London, when they do come out like that, it does rattle the other team, and they then have to have the concentration, the focus to be able to pull that back, and Bristol weren't able to do that, Ovi.
100%. I mean, I think the firepower was just too much in the end for Bristol. As you see, Luke knocking down a three. Connor was able to knock down a couple threes. Matt Morgan able to make some threes. The Lions just have so much weapons and so many difficult pieces to deal with. I think the guys are going to have to stay locked in for longer periods of time if they're going to have a chance.
Well, let's just see what the winning coach, Petar Bojic, thinks. He's with Drew now.
Coach, you get it done, but you do it differently. How important is it to have multiple styles at your disposal?
Well, I don't know what kind of different styles, but yeah, definitely, you know, very interesting game. First half, we had a lot of turnovers. We fixed that in the third quarter, and then fourth quarter again. They're a good team. You know, we allowed them some space in the fourth quarter. I'm happy that we end up winning, but it was easy, can go other round.
That's right, and Matt Morgan was the player of the game. But touch on Connor Morgan, who was able to help pull the game away in the third.
No, Connor is a great guy. He's giving too much to this team today. With a little less minutes, he was very efficient, and I'm happy for that.
Well, you can take it however you can get it. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Drew. Well, how does that win affect the table? That is 4 wins from 4 for the London Lions there at the top of the table. They have 8 points. Newcastle Eagles, they're there with 4 points. They've got 2 from 2 by the Sheffield Sharks and, of course, the Caledonia Gladiators. Plymouth City Patriots yet to get off the mark, along with the Manchester Giants. The Surrey Scorchers, they've only had 1 game. Josh, but I know you alongside me here. You'll be fine. You'll get that point, won't you?
Absolutely. We look forward to Saturday.
You go this Saturday, but what a start for London Lions, Ovi. This is a dream start, and this is actually where the bar is for them, isn't it? This is what they expect to be able to do now.
I feel like you really can't ask for too much more as a coach, as a fan, you know, as a supporter of the Lions. They have so many new pieces, and as they continue to bring back these huge pieces, i.e. Matt and later on Sam, they're going to continue to improve, and we're going to have to see how they sort of deal with all these different elements.
Do other teams in the league there look at the depth then, Josh, of the London Lions and think, wow, this is a team that's rolling deep right now?
Absolutely, that's definitely something you have to consider, and you have to consider that you have to ask more from your own bench. You know, both fives have to contribute, and you have to understand that you're going to have to weather the storm against Lions. You know, the first 5 will be done, and then you've got the bench coming in to, you know, hit again.
So it is busy. It's busy on the Lions team. It's also busy. Game week 3. We're going to have a look and see what's coming up for you over the next few days here in the British Basketball League. Tomorrow, Plymouth City Patriots, Manchester Giants. Our coverage starts at 7:30. Then it's Newcastle Eagles and Cheshire Phoenix. A doubleheader tomorrow for you. 7:45. Pick your team you want to watch. Have it on a double screen if you need to. Then the Surrey Scorchers, of course, Josh. 5 o'clock against the Sheffield Sharks on Saturday. And the Bristol Flyers go again. 8 o'clock against the Leicester Riders. And on Sunday, another doubleheader for you. Plymouth City Patriots at 3 o'clock against the Sheffield Sharks, and then Cheshire Phoenix take on the London Lions at 6 o'clock. So it is a busy weekend, but it's a weekend for a lot of the teams who are going to be excited to be able to get out there. And I was talking to Josh about it. He said he doesn't prefer the training, prefers to play the game, as of course you do, right?
100%. These guys have been working very, very hard in the off-season. The season's here. This is the time to sort of make your money. This is the time to show what you've been working on. I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for all the players and to see the new talent popping up around the league.
Yeah, and Josh, you're itching to get back out on the court, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Had a week off. I'm ready to go.
And your thoughts about your game this week?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just excited, man. I really want to get the first one on the board, start getting our season off to a good start. And yeah, I'm just ready to go.
And how's the team doing in terms of making sure that you can stay fresh and get ready for games instead of just practicing all the time?
Well, I mean, like, practice is important. Practice is important. We definitely understand that. And I think having this week off has been good for us. It was like a nice little break before we got into the meat of our season. So we've almost had an extra week of preseason to prepare. I think we've, done a good job these past couple of weeks to get ready.
Well, we've enjoyed having you here, as well as yourself, OV2. We'll be back next week for you here on Sky Sports. But for the London Lions, 4 wins from 4 games. They've raised the bar, and the bar's staying up. We'll see you next week.